In Victorian England, if you were homeless and had 4 pennies to spare, you could check in for the night at what was called a 4-penny coffin. For that price, you'd get a spot inside a warm building, a blanket, a pillow, and yes, a literal wooden coffin to sleep in. Grim? Absolutely. But back then, it was better than freezing on the streets. On the moon, where only a handful of humans have ever set foot, a small statue lies in silence. Fallen astronaut. In 1971, the Apollo 15 crew placed it there alongside a plaque engraved with the names of 14 astronauts and cosmonauts who gave their lives for space exploration. No flowers, no eulogies, just the endless void and the lunar dust bearing witness to their sacrifice. It remains the only memorial on the moon, a silent tribute to those who dared to reach for the stars. Meet the Juliette Rose, the most expensive flower in the world, priced at a jaw-dropping $15.8 million. This stunning beauty wasn't just grown overnight. It took British breeder David Austin a whopping 15 years of careful work and dedication to bring it to life. Talk about patience paying off. Here's something you might not know. When a woman is pregnant, her brain literally shrinks. Sounds wild, right? But it's actually nature's way of gearing her up to bond with her baby on a deeper level. The gray matter in parts of the brain that deal with social bonding and understanding shrinks to help her form a deeper connection with her baby. And don't worry, her brain bounces right back to normal within 6 months after childbirth. Talk about a smart design. They've cheated death, but lightning left its mark on them, an eerie, branching pattern etched into their skin. People call it lightning flowers, nature's own mysterious tattoo. China is showing the world that its development never stops, installing escalators on mountainsides so tourists can easily take in the breathtaking views. Archaeological records show that workers building the ancient Egyptian pyramids were given 4 to 5 liters of beer a day as part of their rations and wages. But this wasn't the beer we know today. It was thick, packed with nutrients, and often called liquid bread since it was made from fermented grains. Imagine living in a town where the sun just disappears for months. That's life in Viganella, Italy, where from November to February, the mountains block out the sun completely. But in 2006, they pulled off something genius, installing a massive mirror to beam sunlight right into town. Yep, they literally reflected on their problem and solved it. The most lovingly kissed tomb in the world. Oscar Wilde probably never imagined his tomb would become a shrine to love. Inspired by his poem The Sphinx and Assyrian Sphinxes, this angel-winged monument became iconic in the 90s. What made it truly unforgettable? Thousands of lipstick kisses left by fans, a lasting tribute to his genius. This mysterious circular island in Argentina not only floats, but also rotates constantly, and we don't really know why. The Eye, or El Ojo, located in the Parana Delta, Argentina, is about 120 m across and rotates on its own. Despite scientific research and even speculation about UFOs, its origin remains a mystery. Sealand, the world's tiniest country, with just 27 residents. Sitting on a tiny platform in the North Sea, Sealand has its own government, currency, and even passports. Despite its minuscule size, don't forget to bring a visa if you plan to visit. It's one of the most unique micronations you wouldn't expect to exist. In the Atlantic Ocean, off the coast of Iceland, stands a lighthouse perched 40 meters above the water. Built on Westman Island in 1939, long before helicopters were around, it relied on expert climbers to transport materials and complete construction. An MRI room is being built, with copper wallpaper lining the walls. The copper serves as a Faraday cage, blocking external radio signals so they won't interfere with the faint signals coming from your body cells during a scan. The Klink Atlas is one of the largest books in the world, standing 6 feet tall and 7 feet wide when opened. Originally, Dutch merchant Johannes Klink intended for it to be hung on a wall, but when he presented it to King Charles II in 1660, it was bound into a massive book instead. This impressive gift earned Klink a knighthood and trade concessions for his plantations in Brazil. In 1982, mobile phones were still the size of bricks, but Seiko created a wristwatch that could play TV. With a tiny screen and a separate headset, it wasn't exactly convenient. But back then, wearing this was the ultimate flex. Lukla Airport in Nepal is one of the world's most dangerous. Sitting at 9,383 feet in the Himalayas, it has a mere 1,729-foot runway with a steep 12% incline turning every takeoff and landing into a high-stakes adventure. Russia's longest building stretches 2,415 feet in Moscow, so long it takes 3 public transport stops to cover it. This guy was a flamethrower soldier in World War I, and the asbestos mask was his only protection against the flames. The man in the photo just received a Guinness World Record for having a tongue that's a whopping 9 centimeters wide. Personally, I'm a bit confused. Why does his wife look way happier about it than he does? This small-town street sign shows where everyone in town lives. It's a little detail, but it says so much about the tight-knit community here. Rise Tower is a proposed skyscraper project in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, aiming to soar to jaw-dropping heights, at least 2,000 meters. That's over 6,560 feet, making it the tallest structure on the planet. Ever had a pizza that wasn't quite what you expected? Well, Domino's has fixed that with a game-changing tech, an AI-powered pizza checker. After each pizza is made, it gets scanned to ensure every ingredient is just right and up to their high standards. The result? A 20% boost in customer satisfaction. Now that's a pizza innovation we can all get behind. Surely, you never imagined you'd spend $5.2 million on an empty can, right? Well, Liquid Death is turning that into reality, marketing their can of art as a high-value collector's item. Even though it's completely empty, it's still getting tons of 5-star reviews. This just proves one thing. In the crazy world of marketing, sometimes it's the emptiest things that grab the most attention. Now that's some next-level humor and bold strategy. One tomato plant, 32,194 tomatoes. Sounds unreal, right? But that's exactly what happened at Walt Disney World's Epcot Science Project in Florida. This record-breaking harvest, officially recognized by Guinness World Records, took less than a year. Now that's some serious tomato power. In southern Sweden's Småland forests, tiny grass-roofed homes called backstuga once housed the poor. Built into hillsides between the 17th and 19th centuries, their turf roofs provided both camouflage and insulation. I bet even the Brits would be shocked to learn that Indians own more property in London than the English themselves. Tiny but mighty, this is the shortest international bridge on Earth, yet it connects 2 global giants, Canada on the left, the US on the right. This is an abandoned Soviet vessel powered by turbojet engines. Instead of using wheels, it moves like an airplane, propelled forward by jet thrust. The Convair B-36A Peacemaker, a colossal heavy bomber, practically bigger than a small town, flew over Lowry in 1948. The coldest place on Earth where people actually live, Oymyakon, in eastern Siberia, Russia, holds the record for the lowest temperature ever recorded at a bone-chilling -71.7 degrees Celsius, beating even Antarctica's brutal cold. Meet the balimbi, the world's sourest fruit. Small, green, and packed with a punch, this fruit is a tangy surprise native to Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. Scientists have just uncovered a hidden underground forest 192 meters deep in China, where towering 40-meter-tall trees thrive in complete darkness. This incredible discovery could rewrite what we know about life below the Earth's surface. Ever wonder how those breathtaking ice flowers are made? When temperatures plummet, liquid water squeezes through cracks in the ice, instantly freezing into stunning geometric patterns. It's nature's delicate artwork. The shape of this snowflake amazed me with its intricate and beautiful structure. A device from 1642 that functions as a calculator. Rainbow lattice sunstone is a rare gemstone with a unique lattice structure, top-grade specimens from Australia. Ever wondered what the longest nonstop flight in the world is? Well, it's the Singapore Airlines flight from Singapore to New York, covering a staggering 15,349 kilometers in about 18 to 19 hours. But that's not all. Qantas has its own legendary flight from Perth to London, and Qatar Airways doesn't fall behind with its route from Auckland to Doha. Both of these flights last around 17 to 18 hours. It's a whole world of travel that just doesn't stop. You might not believe it, but it only takes about 17 muscles to smile, while frowning or getting angry uses 42. So, there's really no excuse not to smile more, right? Did you know the human body actually contains a bit of gold? Just around 0.2 milligrams, and interestingly, most of it is in your bloodstream. But it doesn't stick around for long. This gold is naturally released through processes like sweating, shedding dead skin cells, and even hair growth. A little spark of gold inside us, without us even realizing it. This incredible library was hidden away in the Sakya Monastery, Tibet, and it's like something out of a treasure hunt. Behind a massive wall, they uncovered 84,000 secret manuscripts, including over 1,000 years of human history. The library itself is an impressive 200 feet long and 33 feet tall. Cranberry harvest in Canada. To gather the berries, farmers flood the fields until they're completely submerged. Then, they wade in to collect them. The ripe cranberries naturally float to the surface, just like this. The train to heaven. On the outskirts of Uyuni, Bolivia, 12,100 feet up, lies the train cemetery, a hauntingly beautiful spot. At night, the Milky Way shines over rusting locomotives, creating a scene straight out of a dream. 5 minutes versus 10 septillion years? Google's new quantum chip just made the world's fastest supercomputers look like ancient abacuses. In 1925, 2 med students spent a staggering 1,500 hours meticulously dissecting an entire human nervous system. In Izmir, Turkey, getting around is a breeze. With a seamless mix of metro, trams, buses, and ferries, the eco-friendly system makes urban travel both easy and sustainable. A man was born on the Titanic, the very day it struck the iceberg, and against all odds, he survived. His mother was so moved by the event that she gave him the middle name Titanic. If you're ever in Shurston, UK, you can find his grave.